In today's video, we're getting guidance for the feminine soul. In this video, your higher self is really stepping up and asking me to share 3 intuitive messages for the divine feminine energy. In this video, we are going to get messages about your path, about your power, and about your soul remembering that you happen to be having right now. Hi guys, my name is Ness. I'm an intuitive and a numerologist, and on this channel we dive in deep into ourselves to understand ourselves in the deepest way possible and the world around us. And if that is what you are interested in or all about, I want you to click that subscribe button right now down below. Perfect. Now that you've done that, I also would like you to stick a thumbs up on the video if you're enjoying this video. This video is 3 messages from your higher self about your divine feminine energy. And I gotta tell you, when I started meditating, this message came through sort of like as a surprise. I wasn't expecting to get this divine feminine energy coming through so strong. Every message was meant for this feminine energy. And so what I'd like for you to do right now is I want you to tap into your heart and ask yourself, should you be answered by message number 1, message number 2, or message number 3? It is possible that you're meant to get a little bit from all 3 of them, but I want you to really ask yourself for guidance. And so once you've done that, I want you to go ahead and either watch the video all the way through or skip ahead to the video, the message that you're meant to hear. So now let's dive into message number 1. This message number 1, when I was in meditation, I saw this beautiful like golden rose kind of wrapped up in a snake. And to me, this is really a symbol of the rising of the sacred feminine energy. And if you were called to this message number 1, it is a message that your higher self wanted you to hear about you remembering your power. I will tell you that in this message, I got a message that feminine energy is beginning to rise and really needs to rise. Right now we happen to be in a collective that is very dominated by masculine energy. And, we need a rebalance of energy. And this message is a call for you to really live into your power, to live into your feminine energy. And when I say feminine energy, feminine energy is soft. It is, some of the words that I got here when I was doing this. Sacred feminine energy is soft but powerful energy. It is fiercely loyal, fiercely protective, fiercely powerful. We are fiercely powerful as feminine energy. And we have been led to believe that we're not as powerful as we actually are. You've got to remember that we are the creators. Feminine energy is creator energy. We are the creators. There is not a single person that is alive right now that was not created within the womb of a woman. We are divine creators. And what this message is about is just for you to remember that this is who you are. You are a divine creator. We are fiercely loyal and fiercely protective, and we are about the collective. And it's really time for us to begin to step into our power. You are being called by your higher self. You are being asked by your higher self to step in a position of authority, to step into a position of power. When I say power, it's not power as in control. You gotta remember that divine feminine energy is not power. When we view power, sometimes we view it as control. At least that's what we've been conditioned to believe. Power doesn't need to mean control, especially when it is associated with feminine energy. Feminine energy is about the collective. Our leadership style is collective leadership style. Our leadership style is what is the best for all. We naturally lean to the energy of what is the greatest good for all, not just what is the greatest good for me. And this is something that really needs to be rebalanced in the platform of the world, truly. And I got the message that we need to begin to stand up and begin to get ourselves in a position of authority, of power, of leadership, so that we can begin to balance the energy. You know, we've been told, oh, we're the power behind the throne. We're no longer supposed to be the power behind the throne. We're supposed to be the power beside the throne, right? We are part of that throne. And we're meant to not necessarily overpower the masculine energy, but instead to balance the masculine energy that is in the world right now. And we are truly being called to put aside our fear and begin to step in these positions of authority. And by us beginning to do that, we will collectively shift the energy of the collective. This is a time, right now, we are in a time of our divine feminine rising. And we need to begin to support each other in growth, in positions of authority, in positions of power. And we need to begin to support other feminine energy, because the more finance that we have in our hands, the more good we do. You know, women have been sort of held back and thought to believe that we are not worth as much pay, we're not worthy enough to be in the positions of power or authority as someone, as a more masculine energy. And it's not a message of taking over, it's a message of balancing this energy. And we can't balance it if we don't begin to step into our power. So we need to step into authority, and your higher self is asking you to step into authority, into a position of authority. You are meant to be in a position of power, of leadership, of authority. You are meant to begin to shift that power balance so that it becomes more balanced. Think of it like a scale, right? Right now it's all masculine energy, and that's why we need to balance this out. You know, women are naturally much more diplomatic than the masculine energy is. Masculine energy is more forceful. We're more diplomatic. We're more less forceful, as the word I can think of. I'm sure there's a better word than that. And we're meant to balance, tip the scales back to balance. And so your higher self is asking you to really lean into this energy. It's a time for you to move into whatever it is that your soul has been asking you to do. Whether that is running for student body, your school council, whether that is running for, some kind of political office, whether that is putting your name in the hat for a management role in your department or your company, whether that is opening up your own business and becoming more in control of your own income. All of these things are things that we are meant to be doing right now as feminine energy. We are meant to begin to get ourselves in positions of leadership. And by doing this, we're going to reignite this feeling of magic within us. And we're going to begin to remember the power that we have within us. So the message your higher self wants you to hear is you are powerful and you are worthy. And we need to begin to step into our abundance, because the more abundant we are, the more we're able to share. The more funds and money we have in our hands, the more good we're able to do in the world. And so we need to no longer be afraid to step into that authority position, step into that position of leadership and power, because we are beginning to shift the energy of the collective and of the world by doing this. And you are one of those people that's meant to step into this leadership energy. What a beautiful message you just got from your higher self. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. If you did enjoy this message, please put a thumbs up on the video. Also, subscribe right now. Perfect. Thank you. And if you're here for message number 2, this is your message. If you're here for message number 2, wow, this is a great message. This is a message. Now, first of all, I want to just step back and say, as the feminine energy, we are naturally extremely intuitive. We're the type of people that we walk in a room, we can sense the energy of the room. We're the type of people that we just kind of know things before we know them. And this message is for you to really reconnect with your intuition. Your higher self, your guides are asking you to listen to your intuition. And if you didn't think that you were intuitive, you were mistaken. You are extremely intuitive. You have been getting messages, little reminders from your higher self, your intuition, either through like angel numbers, maybe songs, maybe lyrics in a song are standing out to you. Maybe you've noticed words on a paper that just sort of stand out. In some way, your higher self has been trying to get your attention. They're trying to remind you that you already know the answer within you. And right now is a time for you to really live into your divine feminine intuition. Women are naturally the mystics, right? We are naturally very gifted psychically. We are naturally open to energies that are not seen. And this is a message from your higher self saying you need to work on this. You need to reconnect or remember. If you don't feel that you are intuitive, it's time for you to begin to remember how intuitive you are. So funny because I did not grow up thinking that I was intuitive or psychic or anything like this. But I've always had interest in it. I always thought, wow, how cool would that be? I was always intrigued by the psychic gift or a knowing or being able to understand things that aren't seen. And as I have matured, I've begun to realize that those little interests of mine, whether it was in numerology or astrology or just people being psychic and loving to hear about that, or going to, I don't know, the psychic eye shop or whatever it is, right? These are all whispers of your soul trying to lead you gently into the direction that you're meant to go. You are naturally an intuitive person. I believe that everyone is intuitive, and especially the divine feminine, right? The feminine energy is very, very in tune with energy and everything around us. And your higher self wants you to tune into this. They want you to start paying attention to your intuition. They want you to take time to sit, whether it be in nature, whether it just be with some meditation music, and envisioning yourself in a place of nature and connecting in with your spirit guides, your higher self, whatever it is that you feel drawn to. But I'm telling you, your higher self wants you to begin to connect in with your heart and your intuition. Because the truth is, we are living in a time in which it is harder to understand what is truth and what is control, all right? We're living in a time in which, not everything is all the truth. It's part truth. Or some of it's none of the truth, right? And so we need to begin to trust our intuition, our inner knowing. We need to begin to trust our inner gut feelings, because that is your intuition at work. This discernment, the word I got is discernment. It is important for you to trust your discernment, your feeling, your knowing, because in a day and age that we are right now, in the technology that we have at this point, and we really need to begin to lean into the truth of our inner knowing. And so it is asking you to trust your intuition, trust your discernment, your judgment. You know the answers. And your soul is giving you whispers and guiding you in a direction that you're meant to go. And it's really asking you to live into that, to begin to make movement towards that, and trust your intuition. What a beautiful message that you just got from your higher self. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this message, please put a thumbs up on the video and hit the subscribe button down below. And if you are here for message number 3, this is your message. I will tell you that message number 3 is really cool. When I was in meditation, I saw this owl, and to me, owls are wisdom keepers. They are like this mystical, ancient, wisdom. And really what this is telling me is that your higher self wants you to know that you hold wisdom, and ancient knowledge within you. And this knowledge has to do with healing. You are very naturally gifted when it comes to healing. And your higher self wants you to know that if you have had interest in things like yoga, maybe somatic healing, hypnotherapy, if you've been intrigued by really any of these modalities, anything that is sort of what is viewed as new age healing. New age is old. It's not new. It's actually very ancient. And as feminine energy, we hold the knowledge of this ancient healing. Sound healing. Sound is healing. And they're beginning to use it. If you do some research, they're actually beginning to see that sound can heal cancer. Sound can kill cancer. And so what I'm saying is that we are ancient healing, like you hold this ancient knowledge of healing within you. And so if you've been being called to things like sound healing or yoga practices or I don't know, Reiki or hypnotherapy, any of these new age sort of healing modalities, these aren't new age. They're actually very ancient practices. And in ancient times, women were the healers of their community. We hold this ancient knowing and this ancient knowledge within us. We are naturally very intuitively healers. We sense the energy. And I want you to, or I should say your higher self wants you to, begin to follow the whispers of your heart. You've been being called to some of these practices, whether it's experiencing it or you want to learn about it. And the thing is when we begin to learn these ancient practices, it feels in the beginning like you're learning it, but as you begin to learn it, it feels like a remembering. It's like a soul remembering. The more you begin to learn, the more you're going to remember. And it's going to be very intuitive and natural for you. And I'm not saying there won't be moments of like deep learning, but as you begin to do the practices, something's going to come through you that you didn't expect. And your higher self is asking you to begin to learn these things, begin to practice these things. If you've been learning and you've been scared to put it into practice, your higher self is reminding you that you have the knowledge within you to be uber successful. And you're meant to really lean into this energy. It's something that you're meant to do. Let me just see what else I have here. It's just a reminder that women are naturally the healers. And like I said just a moment ago, we were healers in our community in ancient times. And right now is a time in which we're beginning to realize that these more natural practices are more intuitively healing for our bodies and our souls than the medicine. Now, I'm not saying that medicine isn't good because medicine is there for a purpose, but there's other forms of medicine that can come together. And I truly believe that your higher self wants you to remind you that there's going to be this growth in natural healing, and we're going to find them come together with more Western healing, right? More like medicine and natural healing, like homeopathic medicine. They're going to begin to converge over the next 5 to 10 years, and you are meant to be at the precipice of this. You're meant to be in the beginning of it. And when these things come together, it's going to be this beautiful thing for the collective. And your feminine energy is asking you to step into this. If you've been being called to anything that is sort of woo-woo or, outside of the norm when it comes to healing or learning something, your soul is asking you to dive in deep. Don't be afraid. It is a soul remembering. Remember that your soul placed these interests in your heart for a reason. Because this reason is part of your soul's path, part of your soul's purpose, part of your soul's remembering. And it's time for you to jump into that. So I just want to say thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this message, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. Put a thumbs up on the video, and I just want to send you all a ton of love. Thank you for being here. What a beautiful message we got from the Divine Feminine Energy. If you enjoyed this video, share it with a friend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.